Hello and welcome back to the Dungeons & Dragons Podcast UK. My name is Yasmin and I will be the DM.
Hi, my name's Colin and I play Cuin de Greymont, a paladin from Gavany.
Hi, I'm Spencer. I play Cadeaux Chasseur, a cleric also from Gavany.
Hi, I'm Brian and I play Ogvar Surefoot, a ranger from Kessig.
Hi, my name is Samantha and I play Elora Greyvale, a sorcerer from Nephalia.
We left episode 58 after everyone aboard had received a most acrimonious ass-kicking from the angry elemental. Due to the damage that the watery whirling dervish had dished out, the deck of the ferry was left in dire need of repair. Amid the sea of flustered faces and frightened animals, Elora engaged any able-bodied in a bid to focus efforts on fixing their floating transport. Our perceptive padre had prayed with the utmost fervour, and it appeared his appeals had not gone unanswered as the evil elemental was destroyed. In the aftermath, Cadeaux took immediate and somewhat inspired advantage of his captive congregation. Moving amongst the stunned survivors left on deck with some surprisingly serious fleetness of foot, he pried both purse and possessions from them in gratitude for the Archangel Avacyn's timely intervention to save their souls. Episode 59, Ferry Fallout and Hired Hands.
As a team, we would like to dedicate today's episode to Mr. Eric Hopper. Eric, thank you very much for your podcast support. It's hugely appreciated. Okay, so you've enlisted some burly guys. Are you going to do anything special, or is there anything special you want to do over the remaining half an hour trip on the ferry?
Do you want to start a training school for the NPCs? This is how you swing a blade, fire a bow.
No, I think Ogvar is just going to go up to the front and intently watch for the shore to come.
Is anyone going to join him and do a Titanic?
I'm going to have a chat with Ricky.
Okay.
And just congratulate him on his ability to keep the horses calm during the onslaught, I think is probably.
I could stand behind Ogvar with a billowing cloak. No?
If you want to.
The imagery, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, Ricky's very bashful. And he compliments you on your shouting skills.
Excellent.
Anyone else? Anything particular?
I'm just going to check my armour,
Does anybody need
oil
to-
it, because obviously, don't want it to rust in the water.
Priorities right there.
How long was the crossing taking?
So the crossing was taking an hour. It was an hour crossing. And
That's a lot of fixing if we were about halfway across.
You made it halfway.
So we've got half an hour to repair a boat. God, I'm going to be shouting at people a lot.
I noticed that a few people look like they got whacked by the water elemental, so I'm going to just check in with the three people who were closest. So I'm going to check in with Ogvar, Cuin and Esther just to see how they're feeling.
Yep.
And whether or not they could do with a bit of curing. So I'll start with Ogvar. How are you feeling, buddy? Could you do with a bit of restitution or assistance?
Oh, yes, most certain.
Okay, in which case...
I think I'm going to have a few bruises in the morning.
Right, I'll use a domain spell slot to cure serious wound.
Ooh.
Okay.
What does that give me?
And I'll tell you in a second. 19 points of curing.
Okay, nice.
Not bad.
Then I'll go and see Cuin and check in. How you feeling, big fella?
I got a few bumps and bruises there, but Yes, I don't think I was took quite as much damage as old poor Ogvar, but
Well, I think he's feeling a bit better now, but I've still got a bit of healing power in me if you want some.
Anything would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, in which case I will again domain spell. Moderate wounds this time. Moderate wounds on Queuing. That's only 11 points of cure. Sorry, fella.
That's more than. Thank you very much. That's very decent of you.
Queuing, you might want to oil those joints before the seawater gets into those.
That's what I was doing.
Oh.
I was going over my armour and oiling it. And
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And obviously, finally, I'll check in with Esther and see how she's feeling.
Oh, not too bad, dearie. I've given myself a bit of healing. I should be fine. Does anybody else need any extra?
Oh, yes, still got a bit of a few stiff joints and whatnot.
What about you, Queuing? How are you doing?
I'm doing better, but if you've only got one spell, I'd use it on Ogvar, and then anything left over on me.
Okie dokie.
Not a drink.
You forgot to use your feet,
My new feat that maximises.
Is it? Wait, is it something you have to activate?
Yeah, so it's my sacred boost, so I have to pray as if I'm trying to turn undead, and it means when I
Right.
cast a healing spell, it maximises it.
Okay. So 9, 10, 11, 12,
Glad I took that.
13. So Ogvar, you get 13 hit points back,
Okay, thank you.
and she will cast Cure Minor Wounds 4 times on you, Queuing, for 4 points of healing.
That's fine, thank you. That's great.
Oh, I'm sorry, dearie. I don't have any stronger spells than that.
That's fine. Any little helps.
Do you pat your back
Yes.
pocket when you do that?
Wrong advert.
I was gonna
Is
say.
it?
Every little helps is Tesco's.
Oh,
Pocket
yeah.
the difference is Asda.
Yeah.
How sad. I actually know that.
Not too fell flat on its face, oh well.
I don't think Tesco's don't use it anymore, do they?
Yeah.
They've changed it to the woman with the whippy thing.
Hey.
What channel are you watching?
Hey.
Tesco's after hours.
It's the club card boost, isn't it?
The Club Card channel.
God. Okay, so after kind of going around, so Cadeaux, you check up on everyone, see who needs a bit of healing. Elora, you spend the remaining half hour of the journey kind of trying to whip these thoroughly useless NPCs into some order.
I'm not joining his channel.
And the remaining half an hour of the journey passes quite quickly. Again, you've got this. It's all after all the excitement of this water elemental appearing. The water is calmed down to how it was before. This fairly fast flowing but placid water. You have the kind of the continuous chunking of the chains as they go through the boat.
Did anybody find the dead guy? More to the point. Hey guys, did anybody see the two guys that kind of disappeared through the air? Did anybody?
Oh, what, the swimmers?
Yeah.
Nah.
Sorry, I was.
The guy in. Sorry, Kieran, what were you saying?
I was just hitting this thing. I didn't see anything.
Well, in the middle of it, there was a bloke at one stage, Kieran. I don't know if you saw him, but Elora electrocuted him, and then the water elemental smashed him into about 8 bits, and then he got flung into the sea. So I don't think there's much I can do for him in terms of curing him. I mean, we can look for the bits if you want, Elora.
Not even with his nice new feet.
Which, while we're on it, I really should pay more attention, because it doesn't just boost my cures; it boosts everybody's. So every cure spell passed within 60 feet of me is maximised for as long as. So that's worth remembering.
Okay, so you're back.
Better at D&D.
You're back to this fairly calm, pleasant journey, with the exception of your boat has been smashed to bits and lots of people have died. You don't see the 3 people who got flung off into the air. They don't resurface. You haven't seen them. And yeah, people are just generally trying to mop up, clean up. Merchants are sorting themselves out, straightening themselves out, their wares. Your crew of misfits are kind of patching together the boat, replacing some of the boards, some of the decking. And they're actually doing a fairly good job at it. Obviously, they're better at being carpenters than they are at being, mercenaries.
Yeah.
So yes, this remaining half an hour passes fairly peacefully. As you go on, you do notice that the day greys slightly. It was starting to look like it would be a nice morning, but then it decided it wasn't going to be. So the day starts to grey a bit. It's not windy, not kind of cold, anything like that. It's just a grey day. Okay, and it's not long before at the front of the boat, Ogvar, you begin to see the opposite shore.
Yay! Land ho!
And as
Struth, I can see the tavern from here.
I didn't know he was a dwarf.
And as it draws nearer and nearer, you begin to see an almost identical layout to Ospid Point on the other bank. So you have the jetty where the ferry docks and it's linked to the chain, and then looking onto the shore from a fair distance away, you can see a very large looking building, which you could probably assume is the sister building to the Wheedling Weasel, as Leopold stated. And you can see some other smaller buildings dotted around. And again, you've got this very blocky, 3-storey high, stone-built guard tower. So yeah, as you get closer, you begin to be able to pick out more details. So you can see the guard tower, although that's very well maintained, the rest of the area looks a bit more ramshackle, run down, very similar to the other side of the river. And
Can we see Selhoff?
you can't see Selhoff from where you are at the moment.
Is the land flat around here, or is there...
Make me a knowledge local.
Knowledge local. That'd be a nat 1. I have no clue. Never travelled this way before.
You're so busy trying to whip these mercenaries into shape that you don't really. It's a passing thought, but not one which really sticks around to take much. Do much in the long term. It kind of bounces around a bit and goes out again.
And how much damage does a cat of 9 tails deal? I don't have to.
So, Leopold, once we get off the ferry at this end, fella, how far is it to Selhoff?
Well, after we get off, should be another 5 hours maybe by carriage.
All right, okay.
Yeah, it's not too far.
So we'll be there tonight then.
Yeah, might just stop to get a bit of a pick me up in the meantime, because I think we will probably quite need that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't say no to a small glass of libation.
I might go and complain to the manager about this one. Because, I've had some wild, rough journeys on this ferry, but I've never had one like that.
I don't suppose he's going to be too happy anyway, is he?
No, I wouldn't think so.
Well, we'll try and patch it up, but it's probably still going to need some bigger repairs done.
Well, that's not our worry.
Can I ask Leopold that when you speak to the guild next, you let them know who solved the problem on this ferry?
Oh, good point there, Cadeaux. Like that, yep.
Yeah, because none of the other wagon guards were much in use, were they?
Well, they didn't appear to be doing much, so, but no, I'll be putting a good word in for you guys anyway. You've been more than exemplary.
Excellent, thank you very much.
Can somebody pass me a Jaffa cake, please?
Oh,
Even
sorry.
though it's melted, I must point out to the listeners at this point, whilst we're drinking drinks and there's tinkling of ice going on, we are trying to do this in about 40-degree heat. It's sapping.
If you're listening in America or Australia, it's like a day.
But with no aircon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the door open.
Well, it just proves that we're a very British podcast, isn't it? We're complaining about the weather.
No,
What?
well, yeah, quite.
Okay, so, have you got any other questions for Leopold, or...
No, I'm with you, Leopold. So let's get the wagons off, small libation in the pub, and then straight on to Selhoff.
Yep, that seems to be the plan. Shouldn't be too much longer now, maybe another 5
Excellent.
minutes before we dock up, and then we'll have to get off.
Is there anything else in the? There was a foundry at the other side. What is it? Is there a blacksmith this side, or is it?
No, around this side you've just got the Running Rhino. It's just a pub.
Running
You
rhino.
used to also be called the Wheeling Weasel, but it got bought out a couple of years back. There's a small vineyard, I think.
A vineyard?
Yeah,
God, don't tell the bat.
I don't really know why there's a vineyard here. It doesn't seem like a logical place, but there's a vineyard here. They ship out from here every couple of months or so up the coast. And there's well, you got the guard tower, and I think that's about it. There might be a small herbalist shop, but
Oh, right, okay.
I'm sorry, could you just remind me, what was the name of the pub again?
the Running Rhino.
Oh, Running Rhino. How did it get a name like that, I wonder? Never mind.
Well, I don't know. I spoke to the proprietor once there, and he said he'd once seen a rhino running. So, the Running Rhino. Who'd have thought it?
Yeah, okay, thanks, Lennon.
He said it just popped into his head while he was sat there.
Oh, but it did. What else does he put in his drinks?
Tell you the truth, I don't rightly know.
Well, there is a herbalist.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so you reach the shore of the other side of the Ospin River, and you begin to the ferry begins to unload. So the couple of carriages that are in front of you, I think there's 5 of them, 5 in front of you, they begin to roll slowly off. One of them has to be kind of hauled off. You can see that the wheel at the very front of it is buckled from, it's obviously taken on some damage from obviously going through this combat scenario. And the front wheel is kind of buckled on itself, so they're just trying to kind of limp it off and drag it off at the moment. So it takes a little longer to get it off, but it's moved off. A couple of these mercenaries who were helping you fix up the boat help just kind of dig the shoulder in and shove it.
Did anybody else actually damage the carriages and the cargo, lose their stuff?
Make me a... Actually, no.
I assume there's one merchant that's 3 mercenaries short.
Yeah.
4 mercenaries.
Yeah, 'cause there was a guy
We're
that
at least
just-
4 mercenaries short, aren't we?
Yeah, 2 got flung, 1 got drained. and
3
one-
got flung, 3 died, 4 died. There's about 7 odd mercenaries
I
missing.
mean, I'm wondering if they want to sort of, gang up with us and we'll protect 2 lots on the way.
Make me a gather information check, please.
Extra
Gather
cash.
information.
Extra cash if we
Just,
cover 2.
I mean, you'd have heard things as you go around the boat, but obviously there isn't really a check for it, and I just gather information.
What would that be
That's
under?
a 7 all in.
Oh, gather information.
And
I've
what were you
actually got a
asking?
bonus on that.
Yeah, so although you've been engaged in your work very much, very much engaged in your work, you have obviously tripped across the odd barrel of goods, and you've heard the mutterings of merchants around. You wouldn't be able to point them out in a crowd, or pick out their faces or which kind of group or carriage they belong to, but you've heard them muttering about lost men. Some of them were kind of very callously relieved that they wouldn't have to pay for the extra hand. And there's also several who are muttering about dampened grain or kind of lost wares, really, or ruined clothing. So you can tell that from just kind of wandering around the boat trying to fix it, that you hear a lot of general dissatisfaction with what's happened, and there has been a sense of kind of loss of goods. Yeah.
I suppose I'll just point this out to who stood near me at this point.
Well,
Cadeaux was
Esther.
Esther.
So you and Esther on the back carriage.
Yeah, I'll just say to Esther, there's a few disgruntled people on here. There's a few people lost their wares, and they've lost a few hands as well.
Yes, well, I suppose it's better to lose the wares than lose their lives.
Oh yeah, they've lost a few of those, and some of their people who employed them were just discussing how much money they're saving from not having to pay the buggers.
Yes, well, Absinthe bless their souls, but at the end of the day, they're merchants. It's what they do.
No, I suppose. So, Laura's just going to shrug it off at that point. There's not a lot she can do about it.
Okay.
Although it seems wrong, but...
Okay, so once your convoy of carriages have rolled off the boat, Leopold directs them directs Ben, and obviously Vicky and Jeff and Big John are following behind, and he directs them to just kind of draw the carriages up and just outside the inn.
Is there anybody obviously missing protection for their wagons?
How many carriages have we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
16?
8,
12, isn't it?
No,
15.
15.
15. Okay, so there's 15 carriages. Give me a 20%.
What do you reckon, people? Let's go 25 to 45.
Okay, yep. So there's very obviously one carriage which looks like it's there's only one single mercenary left, and it's one of the back carriages. So it is 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So it's this carriage here, right in the very back corner.
Right.
So it's one of the later ones to come off, but as you're kind of Leopold's pulling the carriages up and halting the convoy, you notice a very light looking carriage. It's drawn by a single horse, single pony, and it looks to be well loaded with goods, with just crates of goods, but there's one singular mercenary running alongside this carriage, and it looks like there should have been more mercenaries. The merchant are sitting at the front, looks very worried. You can see kind of stress lines kind of creasing his brow and whatnot. He looks concerned.
Am I able to attract his attention?
Yeah, how are you going to do it?
Hello, fella. Are you all right there?
Oh, hi. Can I help?
Are you headed to Selhoff, same as we are?
Yeah, we are actually.
You
yeah.
seem to have lost your protection.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I don't suppose you guys went for hire. No.
Well, we're already been hired, but I'm more than happy to talk to our gang and see if they're happy for you to tack on at the end of us for a small price.
Oh, that would. I mean, if I could just follow you guys, I mean that would be a relief. I mean, if it's just for all right with your carriage master and.
Leopold.
Yeah. What's up?
This fella's lost his protection. I'm just suggesting to him that perhaps he'd like to tag along with us so we can offer him a bit of protection and perhaps split the fee between us.
Well.
Will an extra wagon make it life any more difficult on the last 5 hours of the journey?
I suppose not. I mean, tack on at the back. I suppose it's no big deal.
I suspect you're a much better negotiator than me, fella. Do you want to have a chat with the fella? See what you can negotiate with him?
Yeah, I'll go do that. And he motions to the bloke. He goes. He just kind of waves his hand down. Oh, right. You come in, have a drink on me. We'll have a chat about this while over a drink. Yeah. Because I got to go see if I can get some money back for this from the ferry and whatnot. Anyway, so let's. And he leads the guy off, puts his arm around his shoulder and claps him around the back and leads him off. But with Leopold, when he goes to put his arm over, so it's more around the waist because he's that kind of short. He does it in a very friendly manner. And this other guy, he's quite tall and thin and wiry, and he kind of immediately trots alongside Leopold. And you're left standing there with Ricky and Jeff, who are tending to their horses, Ben and Big John, who are tending to the back and front carriages, and also this other mercenary.
Okay. What does he look like? She? Excellent.
She is she's quite tall. She looks probably about 5'8". She's reasonably tall. She wears leather armour, just some kind of standard leather armour. It looks very beaten up, very scratched, old, worn stuff, not new. She's a little older. She looks maybe in her 40s. She has dark hair, which is tied up high in a ponytail, and she's got leathery tan skin, obviously from hard work. She does sport several scars, prominent scars across her kind of exposed elbows, where obviously there's a gap in the armour, and kind of neck area and kind of that kind of area, chest area. She has several kind of really kind of visible scars. She looks quite worn down, bedraggled. She actually looks a little upset, but other than that, she has a pair of sores on each hip.
She got long hair, short hair, just to complete them.
It's
It's in a ponytail. So.
Yeah, but
it's in a ponytail, like quite a high ponytail, but it only comes down to about her shoulders. So you'd say it's probably mid-length hair if it was down.
Ogvar, do you want to go and... The poor girl's on her own over there. She's about to join our party. Do you want to go and welcome her and see if she wants to come and have a drink with us?
Oh, okay, yes, I'll go down.
Excellent.
Yes.
Right, well, we'll head into the tavern. We'll meet you in there.
Oh, okay, yes, no problem.
Right, guys. Leave Ogvar to his magic. Let's go for a pint.
Elora allows a wry smile.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
So, Ogvar.
Yeah, Ogvar will walk down. Hello there.
Hello.
So, I'll start at the beginning. I'm Ogvar.
Oh, I'm Arvis.
Oh, this. Yes, it seems you may be joining our party. We are those 3 carriages at the front.
Yes, it appears so.
So, I think the other guys are going into the pub.
She's right. Yes. Yes.
So I think it might be a good idea if it's hot out here. If you would go in and join, and we can make some plans for what may lie ahead.
Yes. Sure. Yes. Well, lead the way then.
Yes. I believe it's the tall, large building with the
He's a natural.
the creature with the leathery skin on the side.
Oh, an elephant.
No, Warren. No, not Warren. Rhino.
Oh, Rhino. Yes. What
Yes.
did you say your name was again?
Rhino. No, Ogvar.
Oh. Okay. Yes. To the Rhino then.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
After you.
Okay.
I think we've made it into the rhino by now.
Yeah. So while all this has been going on, you've left Ogvar with his lovely social skills. You've wandered into the rhino, and she's almost an exact replica of the Wheedling Weasel. Right, even down to kind of the same kind of like setup with the table numbers, the same kind of dingy atmosphere, popped up floorboards. It's almost exactly the same. Obviously different staff members here, and it's a little quieter at the moment. But there are what looks like a few dissatisfied, grumbling merchants like kind of scattered around the room. You recognise some of them from the ferry. Some of them you don't recognise at all, and you can only presume that they're annoyed because their wares have been delayed and their journey's been delayed by an hour or so.
Kewin, do you remember breakfast?
Oh, yes. What?
Yeah, exactly. Do you reckon it's worth having lunch?
Well, there's only one way to find out, or
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I reckon we're going to have an extra person if Ogvar's charms work. So I reckon we need lunch for 7.
Okay. I'll ask.
Guys, it's only been about an hour and a half since we had breakfast.
It was a very good breakfast, though, wasn't it?
I'm surprised anybody kept it down after that.
Yeah.
Why?
You're the seafarer.
I don't have a problem with it.
We're going to be here a while Leopold negotiates what's going on with his refund.
I suppose we better ask him if it's all right first.
Yeah, we can talk him into a bite of lunch, can't we? Lunch and a pint.
Elora's going outside. She's going to find somewhere to just pitch her arse on, and she's going to...
Don't let the bat out.
Get the diary out and like the journal out, and she's going to continue. She's now going to log down.
Yeah. Okay. As you open up the door, you almost crash directly into Arvis.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Hello,
hi.
Ogvar, is this the rhino?
I do believe so. Elora, is this the rhino? You're here, so I assume it's the...
I'm not a rhino.
No, I didn't say that, no. This is Arvis, and she is the remaining mercenary from the cart at the back.
Ah,
So I think she may be joining us. So,
was it your travelling companions that were lost?
Yes. Yes.
Were
Yes.
you related to them, or just
well,
travelling?
We'd been together for a number of years, so it was a little upsetting.
Oh, I'm really sorry for your loss.
And she starts kind of.
Oh, come on, there was much use as tits on a fish.
Well, you can go in and have a drink with the others, or I'm going to sit outside, so, I'm out there if you want company, At which point she's just going, excuse me. And then she's just going to gently push past and go back outside.
Okay.
So, Kewin, which one of us is going to talk Leopold into staying for lunch?
Well, you,
Is it my turn?
yes.
Okay, right, I'll wander over to Leopold and say, Leopold, quite a lot of exertions on that ferry. I think probably a bite of lunch while we're here.
Oh, you're more than welcome to have a bite of lunch.
Excellent, do you want some?
No, thank you. I'm just trying to negotiate with the young merchant over here, and then I've got to talk to the people at the ferry. But
If you need any bartering points with the young merchant, just let him know that his one remaining mercenary is taking a bit of a shine to Ogvar.
right, okay. You're more welcome to have a quick bite to eat, but I'm predicting it will be off in the next half an hour. So
Right, well, we'll get lunch down as quick as we can. Right, so I head back to Kewin. Right, we're on for lunch, fella.
Okay.
He says we've got about half an hour.
Ah, right, okay. Over. Food?
oh no, I'm okay, thank you. The rough seas, but more than churned my stomach.
Okay.
I think I shall.
How about you, young lady?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. What about a stiff one? Hey, Ogvar? Drink.
You look like you could do with a stiff one, if you don't mind me saying so.
Drink. Yes, drink. Stiff drink.
She just kind of goes wide-eyed and just nods at you in panic.
Yeah. Esther, do you want some lunch?
I'm quite all right, thank you. I've had a big breakfast. I shall be fine with a glass of wine, please.
Glass of wine. Okay. Ogvar, do you want a drink?
Oh yes, an ale, please.
Right, so it's two lunches, and then
Yes.
drinks all round.
Yes.
Must be at least 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah. Okay, so
No, because there was the klaxon. We had to wait after the klaxon, and the ferry was at least an hour.
it's been about 2 hours two and a bit hours since you woke
It's
up.
got to be at least 11s.
Not really, no.
way.
Well, I'm calling it 11s. Let's call it second breakfast. Oh, they might still be serving breakfasts.
Well, the serving breakfast. That's
Oh, let's go find out.
So going up to the bar, you receive your menu. They give you the breakfast menu. There's still breakfast on offer. What did we say it was for breakfast?
I don't know.
Okay, I think it was 5. Did we say 5 silver pieces? Yeah. So it's 5 silver pieces for breakfast, and then 4 copper pieces for ale or mead, and then there's 6 copper for wine. So I'm assuming you're gonna have 2 breakfasts.
2 breakfasts, 1 wine, 3 ales.
Yeah, extra sausage for pickle.
Yes, and a wine.
Okay, 3 ales. Okay, so that's 12.
Elora, do you want a drink for the bat?
She's outside, so yeah. So it's like 5 silver pieces and 8 copper. Round it up to 6 silver pieces for your extra sausage.
Okay.
Okay, so again, you get this whole system of you put your order in at the bar, you sit back down, and a while later your table number's called, table number 7. The young lad this time is 7, and you go up and collect your meal. Is there anything you'll talk about in particular over breakfast? Second breakfast.
So has Arvis sat down with us?
Yes, she sat down with you, kind of her bottom lips trembling into her mug of mead.
So, we'll find out where they've come from.
Oh, okay. So, Arvis, where you are? I assume you're heading to Selhoff, same as us. That's what we heard from your employer.
Yes, that's Selhoff, yes.
Yeah. And have you been travelling particularly long distance, or where have you come from exactly?
Come down from Haven Girl, yes.
Oh, okay, Haven. So, I don't believe I've travelled to Haven Girl. What goes on there?
Well, it's quite a big city. Up from Junau. There's the river which goes up to Gavany. There's the marshes to the northeast. There's a lot of gulls.
Oh,
Yes, it's quite a nice place.
okay. It sounds nice. So, what exactly are you conscripted to transport?
Mostly, oh God, my words. Mainly clothing and fabrics. From Havengard, there's a lot of fabric export. Just bringing them down to Selhoff.
That sounds very interesting. I do believe Elora is quite partial to a bit of shopping. She recently bought some quite fine clothes. As you can see by my attire, I'm not quite so bothered. But
Yes.
so, I do believe. Have I introduced you to the rest of us? This is my friend here, long friend, Kewin de Greymont.
Hello! Oh! As he waves a sausage on his fork in the air, he starts munching away.
Well, pleasure to meet.
This paladin of the Church of Avacyn, and here the other fellow who's seems quite insistent on making me socially interact with people is my friend Cadeaux Chasseur.
Oh, hello. He's much more literate and clever than us, so we get him to do the introductions because basically we just stuff food in our face and kill stuff.
Okay. Pleasure to meet.
Yeah, it's lovely. Have you been in the mercenary game long?
Yes, I have. The last 20 years.
Really? Don't look old enough.
That's very sweet of you to say. Yes.
Years.
Yeah, that's
You
it.
don't
I'm stiff stuffing my face.
Yeah, I'm straight back into my breakfast. Oh, sorry, I should have said the dog's called Pickle. He's very friendly.
Oh,
If you see a mad-looking bat, that belongs to Elora. He's quite friendly as well. And somewhere there's a bird.
On my shoulder.
Ah, there he is. There you go.
Yes, this is Murdoch. He's my companion. I haven't had him that long, really, if I'm honest, but he seems quite fond of me, and I'm quite agreeable to letting him hang around.
oh, that's lovely.
You're okay? Are you okay with the ravens, birds of ill omen? Are you okay?
Yes, I suppose so. Yes.
Oh, and that lady over there's Esther. We always forget Esther. That lady over there's Esther. She sits quietly in the corner. But
Just don't get on the wrong side.
Don't get on the wrong side. Yeah.
No.
So Esther is sat quite dramatically by the fireplace, kind of cloak round the back of the chair, just elegantly sipping on wine.
Yeah.
It looks very deliberate.
Yeah, that's our Esther.
Oh, well, that's lovely. Yes, yes. And she just kind of sinks back into her mead. Just kind of sinks behind the cup a bit again, and kind of just goes quiet. Okay. So it's not long before Leopold wanders over to the table, and he claps you on the back, Cadeaux, with a big meaty paw, and just bang round your back. Right, lads, how we doing?
I'll have that sausage again then.
Right, lady, how you doing? And she just kind of nods very vigorously at him. Goes, right, well, I feel like you should be informed. I've taken a negotiation with your employer, Miss Arvis, was it? And you're going to be popping along at the back of our convoy. We'll protect you as, well, I say we, these fine gents here, and wherever Miss Elora is and Miss Esther, they'll protect you and your carriage until we get to Selhoff. I understand that you've had quite a nasty shock today, and obviously you haven't had the most pleasant experience, so I believe your employer wishes for you to have a bit of a rest as well. Just get yourself recovered while we've got, he's got some competent mercenaries here. Not that I'm saying you're incompetent, but clearly these guys have got a bit of nous about them, and you're obviously a little shocked. But yeah, so Mr. Marks, this is carriage. He'll be tagging on the back with us down to Selhoff, so it's only 5 hours. So yeah, I'll still be paying you full rate. he's going to pay you a further 50 gold each on top of that.
Or was it Mr. Marks?
Mr. Marks. Yeah. You can tell his name is probably Marks, but Leopold tends to call everyone Mr. or Miss. It's just his way of speaking. He goes, right, well, I'm off to place a complaint now. I'm taking Mr. Marks with me, so, I don't know, be ready in 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes maybe. Right, off we go, and he smacks you round the back again, Cadeaux. And he wanders off out the door. As he walks past you, Elora, you've probably taken a pew outside on some outside seating. He stops in to tell you the same thing.
Cool. No worries, Leopold. Just catching up on a little bit of paperwork that I wanted to do.
Wonderful. Right, if you ever want to do some of that for me, let me know.
I try and avoid it. This one's been hanging around for a while and I haven't started until recent.
Right, okay. I'm going to go and put a complaint in now. And he toddles off towards where the ferry is currently docked.
Changing his name to Miss Karen.
Well, I see what that's handy. That's a bit of extra cash, isn't it, guys?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So, unless there's anything particular you want to talk about or do in this time, is there anything like that?
We just need to organise how we're going to man the wagons. Now we've got an extra one. So at the moment we've had queuing at the front, then us two in the middle and you two at the back.
Elora's not in the pub at the moment. She's outside.
Yeah, no, I'm just chatting to the fellas.
Okay.
So we normally have the ladies at the back, me and Ogvar in the middle, and you at the front. We're going to split that up a bit, aren't we?
You've got 4 people in your carriage.
Yeah, we could spare one, can't we?
One of you need to go to the back, really.
Yeah. Well, shall I go and have a chat with Elora and Esther? And what we'll do is we'll put the new girl with them, and one of them can come in the back with me. Will that work?
Whatever. Yes.
Well, I'm easy to go.
Or do you want to go in the back one, Ogvar? I suppose actually with your bow it might make more sense for you to be at the back.
I don't mind. I'll go where I'm placed.
What do you reckon, Kewin?
Yes.
Bow at the back?
Fine. Yes.
Bow specialist at the back. Right, in which case, do you want to go and speak to Elora or shall I go and speak to her?
I don't mind going and find her. I know where she is. I saw her walking around outside.
So I reckon you and either her or Esther in the back carriage.
Oh, I don't mind going in the back. I'm quite happy to go in the back. Obviously, get a bit of sword action in the back.
Excellent. There we go then. Sorted.
If Miss Arvis, if you fancied going in perhaps with middle carriage or so with Cadeaux, I don't know. It's up to you entirely. So yes, but I'm happy to go at the back.
Okay, I'll join you there.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Right. So, we'll write that down so we remember it.
Yep.
Okay, so is there anything else particularly that you want to talk about? Any particular points of conversation? No?
We'll just brief Elora on that seating plan.
Okay. So you're going to kind of just wander outside and sit outside with Elora and...
Once breakfast's finished, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it's not too long before you emerge and speak with Elora.
She's going to snap her journal shut and just tuck it away.
Okay, if you got anything to say about the plan or...
No, where do you want me?
You're in the same carriage, but we're just going to stick Esther down back aft with Ogvar because we've got an extra carriage to cover. And obviously
okay.
we figured with his bow at the back that's probably handy.
Yeah,
and then I'll stay where I am. And then Miss Arvis can either go with you or with me. It doesn't matter really in the middle. We'll still leave queuing up front.
Probably best to go with Elora because there's only her and Big John on the on the third carriage.
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually, Kuhn. That's a good shout, yeah. So if you're happy with Miss Arvis sitting with you...
Yeah, that's fine. I'm good.
I'll say Miss Arvis. Arvis is her first name, I think.
Yes, it is, yes.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not good with names.
Right, come on, you're with me then.
Okay.
I hope you like pastries.
Oh, yeah, you picked a good person to sit with.
Oh, yeah, I'm rather partial.
Excellent.
Especially Ironfort pastries, they are some of the best around.
Oh, well, there you go. That's where these originated. And they're still hot.
Oh, that's wow. That's quite miraculous.
Oh, you can introduce her to the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not too long before Leopold once again returns. He looks a little red in the face. In fact, everyone make me a listen check.
Oh. lesson. That's a 7 all in from Elora.
Okay.
24.
Yes.
17 for me, all in.
19.
Okay, anyone over 15, which is everyone except Elora. At several points while you're stood outside chatting with Elora and Arvis and just kind of discussing his plan, at several points the three of you can hear what sounds like Leopold's voice shouting, "I want to speak to your manager!" But Leopold returns, slightly red in the face, a little puffed out looking, and he stands there in front of you with his hands on his hips and he goes, "Right, time to go. I've had a bit of an argument and I'm afraid I'm going to have to talk to someone and settle off because this is just unacceptable."
I've saved you a sausage, fella. Do you want it?
"Thank you very much." And he takes it and he just munches down on it.
Nom 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 nom.
Got to keep the boss happy.
He nods at you, wipes off his hands, wipes them on his trousers, looks at his hands in disgust, looks at his trousers, looks at you and goes, "Right, back on the carriages then."
Right, I'll brief him on the seating plan.
Yep.
Right, Elora's going to hop up on the back of the third carriage, along with Arvis.
Okay.
I'm up with Ricky and Jeff. Hello, fellas. We've lost Ogvar. He's going to cover the back carriage. You just got me now.
Oh. Well, not because it's you, but yeah, we lost Ogvar.
Yeah, I did try and get the lady friend so you could have a chat with her, but
Ah,
she decided to go on the one behind.
shame. Wonder why.
Pastries.
Okay, and the carriages set off, and you leave this other little port behind. As you leave, you do see what appears to be like a small herbalist shop. There's an old woman sat outside in a rocking chair, quietly knitting. The door's open, and you can see just through the doorway. It looks quite dank and dark, but you can see various herbs drying from the ceiling, hanging from the ceiling, and it looks old and tired, but well maintained. And outside, there's a couple of baskets of what looks like fresher herbs and live plants outside. So you pass the little herbalist shop, and you begin to kind of exit the main area. You can see a couple of guards on patrol, again, same as Ospit Point. And as you begin to leave and start following the path, the road down south, you do see what appears to be several kind of fields of vineyard fields, and they look relatively healthy from this distance. You can see that they don't look like the healthiest or the luscious that you might see up in Gavany, but they look relatively healthy and thriving. But yeah, and you pass through and you begin your journey towards Selhoff. Okay. Anything anybody wants to do with the journey?
As ever, we'll send Piggle for a hunt.
Okay. Make me a survival check.
I'm going to have a try and type my helmet visor.
Craft armour check.
22 all in.
A 22. Okay. Pickle comes back with a hair.
13.
13. Yep. You pop your helmet off and you begin fiddling with the screws again. Yeah. It seems to have stiffened it up a bit. Anything else? Anyone?
Oh, I'm going to have a chat to Arvis and find out a little bit about her, and obviously I think she would tell me where I would ask her where she's from.
Yep.
So I would assume she says that she's from Havengull.
Yeah, she tells you that she's from Havengull. She's from actually within the city, kind of in one of the slightly more reputable areas, where she was born, and then she tells you that she took up life as a mercenary in her 20s, when she was quite young, after her parents passed away, and then she'd been living that life ever since. And she tells you a bit about her companions. She'd been travelling with 2 other companions who'd been with her for quite a few years, and that she'd lost them obviously in the battle. She's a bit torn up about it, but nothing she wouldn't fix. Okay.
Yeah, so I'll excuse me. I'll introduce her to Orland. Actually, what I'll do is I'll take Orland as he's resting up the side.
Okay.
I'll bring him round onto my lap as we're going along, and I'll just say, Orland,
Yeah.
Can you hand me a couple of sweet hot pastries from in there, please?
You're gonna get fat and it. Bleh.
Thanks, Orland. That's cool. I'll work it off later. I'm gonna hand one to her. I said, "This is Orland. This is our bag. This is our haversack.
Nice to meet you.
This is Arvis."
Oh, hello? Orland doesn't really say anything after that.
Right, I'll pop him back down by my side. Yeah, he's a little reserved at times, but he's a good sort.
I see.
He's looked after us. So just munch on the pastry.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem.
Okay. Ogvar, anything you want to do, or?
No, I'm just, well, might, not going to train Murdoch any, but I'll just sort of just give him a bit of fuss. And, yeah, just looking forward to getting to Selhoff, really.
Okay. So, day goes on. The hours actually go by fairly quickly. Cadeaux, Ricky and Jeff are quite jovial and they're kind of making all sorts of jokes as usual. Bit of back and forth banter going on. Kieran on the front, are you going to engage with Leopold or Ben, or?
No, I'm still at the back, swinging my legs.
Okay.
But as I'm going along, I'm sharpening my bastard sword.
Okay, so you're very preoccupied with obviously sharpening your sword. Leopold and Ben, you can hear them chattering in the background. And obviously Elora and Arvis, you're eating pastries.
Is Rowan in his side, in his pouch? Or?
Yeah, Rowan's in there.
He's in there.
Yeah, he's sleeping.
Was
And-
Mr. Marks the person who also drove his carriage, or is it Mr. Marks plus someone?
Mr. Marks was the one driving the carriage.
Right, so there's just the three of them in that back carriage. Yes,
Yes.
Ogvar and Mr. Marks.
Yeah. Okay, so time goes by fairly quickly, and you've noticed that as the day's gone on, it's got a little darker. So the clouds are beginning to kind of cover in, converge and cover over. And the further you continue on the carriages, the darker it gets. And you've also kind of come to the realisation that you are actually heading steadily downhill. So now when you look back, you can no longer see the port on the other side of the river, and it's not like a sharp, but it's like a gentle sloping. It's interspersed with flat spots, but it is gradually going downwards. And it's not much longer before you start to begin to see spires in the distance. And as you get closer, you begin to drop down steeper and steeper, but you can see the tall black spires that dominate Selhoff's skyline. The city is very dark. It's got these big thick stone walls around surrounding the city, and it's built on port. It's port city again, so it's built in the sea, but you can almost see that instead of being like Junau was, just kind of on flat land with a big promontory in the middle, it is instead quite steeply sided, and the port runs deep into the city. And it's almost like it's on cliff edges really, and they slope down quite steeply inside, and you've got buildings built up, and then the port's kind of on the coast. And you can see all these. All of the buildings that you can see have these tall spires on them. Some of them have banners flapping in the sea breeze. Most of them don't, but some of them do. And it's just a very dark, imposing, ominous-looking city.
How, compared to Drunel, how big is this city?
The city looks. The way the city's designed, it looks almost bigger to you because the buildings are tall, they're spired, they're very imposing, they loom over you. Mm-hmm. In terms of actual area the city covers, it covers less land, it's less sprawling, but it's quite steep. So the buildings are very much built on the sides of this very steep valley into the port. So it just kind of looks very tall and imposing. I mean, you're looking down towards it at the moment, but it's just kind of very dark and imposing looking.
And do the banners mean anything to any of us? Are they obviously religious or families or guilds or?
Make me a spot check.
All of us or just me?
Just you, so you're asking the question.
18 all in.
Okay. You can see some banners which, there's a set of banners which host the symbol of Avacyn. But also looking around, you can see other kinds of banners. And these banners, from your time in the church, you'd have probably recognised them from some of your learnings, perhaps, as these are banners which belong to some of the bigger nobles in Innistrad. Perhaps not as big as the nobles in Gavany, but you recognise the style of them. They tend to have a bit of imagery relating to Avacyn and things like swords. You know, your kind of standard or animals. They look like they would be noble houses.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we there yet, or is that what we can see at the moment? We're still a way out.
So you're still a little way out, but you are now descending towards the city of Selhoff.
Do I assume by this that although I'm sat on the back carriage, somebody would have actually shouted from the front, perhaps, so that I would have turned around to look at this?
Yeah, you'd probably had Leopold shout saying, "Oh, nearly there, lads."
Yeah.
And yeah, you see the city of Selhoff.
Just a question. Not that it makes any difference, but if we are on a little carriage, little cart, is it still big enough for me and Esther to be riding on it, or are we walking along the side of it?
It's big enough for you to ride on it. It's very stacked up with boxes and bolts of fabric, but there's enough room for you to kind of perch on it.
Okay, that's cool, yeah.
With their timber transportation now docked after a more than dodgy crossing of the Ospid River Rapids, the troubled travellers decamped, and it was obvious that Ogvar was relieved to be back on dry land once more. All parties attended to their own affairs, taking stock of their losses, both human and otherwise. A merchant named Mr. Marks, whom had lost most of his escort party, sought solace under the protective lead of Leopold, and thus 3 wagons became 4.
Thank you for listening to our podcast. Having you as a listener means everything to us. So, whichever streaming service you choose to listen to us with, please give us a like, subscribe and follow. We would love for you to join us on our Facebook or Twitter page, where you can catch up with all of our latest news. While you're waiting for the next episode of Secrets of the Silver City, why not pop over to our website, where you can read all of the information about this campaign, from backstories to setting. All of the links are in the bio of this episode. Join us again next week for the next instalment. Thank you for listening.